Good morning, dear students. Yesterday we have learned about crops, agriculture, different types of crops. Today we will move on to the next section of our chapter. Cultivation of crops is not a single step process. It is a long process and it involves many steps. Various agricultural tasks are performed by the farmers for healthy and good crop yield. The various steps involved in agricultural practices are preparation of soil, sowing, improving soil fertility, irrigation, protection from weeds, harvesting and storage. So today in this section we'll take three steps, that is preparation of soil, sowing and improving soil fertility. The very first step in growing a crop is soil preparation. Soil preparation refers to the processing of soil before sowing the seeds. The process of loosening and turning the soil is called tilling or plowing. Turning the soil allows the organisms living in soil to come to the top and decompose the dead plants and animals. In this way, it allows the nutrients from the dead organisms to be released into the soil. For preparation of soil, certain tools are used. We'll go one by one. The first one is the traditional tool, which is plow. Traditionally, plowing was done using a tool known as plow. It was pulled by animals like bulls, buffaloes or horses. Now, what is the structure of a plow? A plow consists of a triangular iron blade called plowshare that cuts through the soil. The blade is curved and helps to turn over the soil. So it goes inside the soil. The plowshare is fitted at one end of a long wooden plow shaft. The other end of the shaft is attached to a beam that is placed on the necks of a pair of animals. So this is how plowing is done. The next tool is a cultivator. A cultivator is a plowing tool that has multiple metal blades. It is driven by a tractor. It makes the plowing a field easier and faster. The next tool is hoe. A hoe is a tool used for tilling. It consists of a broad metal blade fixed at one end of a long rod of wood or iron. And the last tool is leveler. The plowed field still contains big pieces of soil. It is necessary to break these crumbs and level the field before sowing the seeds. So this is done with the help of leveler, which makes the field suited for sowing as well as for irrigation. Now, what are the advantages of soil preparation? It helps in the aeration of soil since the soil is getting turned. It helps in mixing fertilizers uniformly. It allows roots to go deep into the soil and breathe easily. It increases the water holding capacity of the soil. It results in proper mixing of manure in the soil, and it exposes the pests which damage the crop to sunlight and helps in killing them. After preparing the soil, the field becomes ready for sowing the seeds. Sowing is the process of planting seeds in the prepared soil. Usually farmers prefer to use seeds which give a high yield. Now the sowing of seeds is done in 4 ways. The first one is broadcasting. It is a traditional method. It is an ancient method also, where seeds are sprinkled with hands on the prepared soil. But the disadvantage of this method is that it results in an unequal distribution of seeds in the field. Next method is traditional tool. You can see the traditional tool. It is a funnel-like structure. It is used for sowing seeds and it is shaped like a funnel. The seeds are put into the funnel and pass through 2 or 3 pipes having sharp ends. These sharp ends pierce into the soil and place seeds there. Next is seed drill. A seed drill has long tubes which are connected at the top with a funnel. The seeds to be sown are put into the funnel and the seed drill is tied at the back of a tractor-driven plow. When the plow cuts through the soil, the drill deposits the seeds at equal distances and at appropriate depths. So the advantage of using seed drill is that it saves time as well as labor. The next method is transplantation. Transplantation. It is used for crops like rice. Seeds are first sown in the nursery. When they germinate, small plantlets come out. Then these plantlets are planted into the field. So why this method is used? Because it ensures that only healthy plantlets are transferred to the field. So it will result in good yield of the particular crop. We know that plants absorb water and minerals from the soil. It means that plants get their essential nutrients from the soil. Now think, if the same crop is grown again and again in a particular field over a longer period of time, what will happen? It will lead to the deficiency of that particular nutrients which are consumed by that particular crop. These nutrients need to be re-added or recovered from time to time. Thus, to improve the soil fertility of the field, certain measures are followed. The first one among them is adding manure to the soil. Manure is an organic material which is used to increase the fertility of the soil. Manure is less rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, etc. And that's why it is required to add them in much greater quantities. It is very rich in organic matter, that is humus, and thus it improves the capacity of the soil to absorb and store water. The advantages of using manure is that it improves the quality of the soil, it increases the capacity of the soil to hold water and nutrients, it reduces the risk of damage to the plants due to overuse. Since it is organic in nature, there is no risk of damage. Then second measure is fertilizers. Fertilizers are synthetic chemicals. They are prepared in the factories. They are rich in specific nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. They are more likely to cause land and water pollution. They are very expensive also. The use of fertilizers results in higher crop yield. But the nutrients in the fertilizers may be washed away due to rain or irrigation because they stay on the surface of the soil, and therefore whenever it rains or irrigation measures are used, they get washed away. Use of fertilizers over a longer period of time may affect the fertility of the soil as well. Next measure is crop rotation. Crop rotation. In this method, farmers are encouraged to grow pulses in between two cereal crops in the field. For example, they grow wheat in one season and legumes in the next season. Now, wheat crop uses nitrogen in the form of nitrates, which leads to the deficiency of nitrogen in the soil. So, to compensate or to fulfill the requirement of nitrogen in the soil, the leguminous crop is grown in the field. Why leguminous crop? Because leguminous plants have a speciality in their roots. Their roots are provided with certain bumps. These bumps or nodes are called root nodules. These root nodules are the houses of certain bacteria which are called rhizobium. These bacteria are called nitrogen fixing bacteria. Why nitrogen fixing bacteria? Because they have the ability to convert the atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates, and this nitrate is easily absorbed by the roots of the plants, and thus it increases the nitrogen content of the soil as well. Next measure is fallowing. In this method, a field is allowed to regain its nutrients naturally just by leaving it free for one or more seasons. Nothing is being grown on that particular field and it is left as such without any crop. Organic matter like dead plants and animal remains that collect in the field are decomposed by microbes which are already present in that field. Thus, the nutrients are returned to the soil. In this way, these four measures are used to increase the fertility of the soil: manure, fertilizers, crop rotation, and fallowing. In the next class, we'll study about the next agricultural practices. So your homework is to pre-read the chapter so that it will be easier for us to understand all the things properly. Thank you.